To what do I owe the repeated pleasure, Source Hunter? The world belongs to the young, they say, and Boris will live to take his piece. Thank you for your help in this matter.
Borrow indeed. I'll sooner meet a cat wizard than see that merchant repaid.
Come now, I'll be good for it, I swear! So what do you think? Should I snag a fish?
There's as many friends as the bed with many cheeses.
Get it while it's fresh. This batch is only hours from the sea.
That's the spirit! Or should I say, the soul?
No better solution to the zombie problem.
Sir, did you just steal that fish?
Why me?
No, I paid for it. The merchant just left, but I paid before.
Yo, you were a witness to this event now? Tell me what happened.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomato.
I can't thank you enough for your, discretion. I'll be going now.
Well, sorry to have bothered you then, sir. Carry on.
Get it while it's fresh. This batch
Not here, not now. We'll be better off speaking in the privacy of the cellar. There are eyes and ears everywhere. You know the healer's clinic, don't you? Oh, what's his name? Theliron. Yes, behind Theliron's house of healing, along the cliffs, you'll find Reginald's sparse little shack. There I know we won't be overheard. He keeps a spare key right near the place in a pen guarded by a rather lonely little sheep. You can't miss the bugger. Not here, not now. We'll be better off speaking in the privacy. It won't be the worst.
I am here.
A little privacy at last. Out of earshot of that contemptible jester. We can finally speak freely. Where shall we begin? My true name is Nick. In life, I was an entertainer aboard the ship of the famed Pontius Pirate. I once dared to defy him and he savagely beheaded me for the attempt. Little did I know the abuse was only beginning. A wandering sorcerer, mad as the day is long, found my severed head on the beach and resurrected me. I spent months in his company listening to him blather on about his every inane opinion. When I asked him to return my head to my body, it must be in the Black Cove still, he became enraged and tossed my head into the sea. Reginald stumbled upon me some days later and consigned me into his horrid little show. I know not how long I've been entertaining slack-jawed imbeciles at the Sicil Fair. All I know is I just can't take it anymore. charlatan doesn't have a lick of his own talent. So he begs, borrows and beats it from those of us with a real vision for the stage. What I wouldn't give to give old Reggie a swift kick in the jugglers. Oh, to have legs again. More than anything. But the chances are so slim with the Black Cove utterly infested with Pontius's undead cronies. My poor lost body is among them, sightless and silent in their vile company. For all I know, they're using it as a coat rack. Traveller, if there were any way you would brave the cove's depths and reunite me with myself, you'd be doing me the only kindness I'd have received in as long as my poor memory serves. It won't be the worst indignation.
Everything we do seems to fortify your abilities.
I suppose your example has inspired me to reach heights I never before envisioned.
Jesus Christ.
That inspiration hardly flows one way, my friend.
Drop the fucking jugglers. What's this?
Fresh haddock. Perfect for a fry-up.
Not in the mood for cheese. The excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine corn.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
Not in the mood for cheese. The excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine corn. Ain't a big cheese on your brook with a wheel of the good stuff.
Fresh haddock. Perfect for a fry-up.
Ain't a big cheese on your brook with a wheel of the good stuff.
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
Oh shit.
Oh my gods! What is going on here? First I have to shoo away a creeping white tomcat, and now there's a perfect stranger in my bathroom. Get out, will you?
Oh my god, 7. Ah!
Aim straight. Aim true. Arrows by the dozens.
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Ain't a big cheese on your brook with a wheel of the good stuff.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Watch the undead. undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest eddies as Icefields ever seen.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Any takers? Come on, you chickens!
Feed a big cheese on your brook with a wheel of the good stuff.
Stench.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Feed a big cheese on your brook with a wheel of the good stuff.
Heavenly herring, delicious dogfish, yours for a scrap of gold each.
Oh my gods! What is going on here? First I have to shoo away a creeping white tomcat, and now there's a perfect stranger in my bathroom. Get out, will you?
Oh, fucking.
A magical pyramid, eh? Frivolous and lecherous magic, more like. Leave my house, afore the divines punish you for your aberrant ways.
Damn it.
Feed a big cheese on your brook with a wheel of the good stuff.
Oh my gods! What is going on here? First I have to shoo away a creeping white tomcat, and now there's a perfect stranger in my bathroom. Get out, will you?
Jesus, one jar, one.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse is more holes than a slice of this.
Oh my gods! What is going on here? First I have to shoo away a creeping white tomcat, and now there's a perfect stranger in my bathroom. Get little mix-up indeed.
Fortune!
No, if you please. This room is private. Don't just stand there. Go! Away with you!
Away with you.
That's quite the valuable gift.
Only the best for my favorite partner.
Your kindness is a great comfort to me. I'll return this favor at the earliest possible moment.
Good luck out there, Hunter. Evil lurks beyond Siceel's ramparts.
Rest in peace, darling.
Looks like that dog is awfully agitated.
Perhaps he wants to tell us something.
Here lies Jake. Please do not disturb. Here lies Kavanagh. Will they have Siceel pie in the afterlife?
I don't have the right tool for digging.
Rest in peace, darling.
I don't have the right tool for digging.
Peace be with
traveller. May your lost loved ones rest in peace. I once lived a prosperous life with my husband and our happy little daughter Loni. But when the undead plague broke out, my dear husband was among the first killed. Loni never recovered from the loss. And when a group of mercenaries, predators, more aptly called, came to town dangling the opportunity to annihilate those undead devils, Loni lapped up their rhetoric and joined without so much as a backward glance.
Oh!
She was killed less than a week after she joined. Here she lies. And here I stand, mourning the death of my last joy. May the seven keep you.
What's this? Huh?
Rest in peace, darling.
What trickery is this? That's not Jake.
It's a rotting sheep's corpse. It seems someone snatched Jake's body.
Oh, how nice it is. Pray, you would listen to my grievances. Guide me towards untroubled realms. Hot spiced wine and a snug little room awaits us on the...
Fancy that. A source hunter barging in when the lady of the house is fully dressed. Who could have fathomed such a thing?
Damn it. You are rude. لقيتها.
What trickery is this? That's not Jake.
It's a rotting sheep's corpse. It seems someone snatched Jake's body.
Oh, it goes to and fro the city's youth. They hustle and bustle while I sit here stagnantly watching. Oh, how nice it is of you. The very picture of youth. To break the monotony of an elder's day. Why, procured hot spice.
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
A sauce hunter! Oh, what a sight for sore Sicilian eyes! Me? I live alone here in town. Used to be that my younger brother Tom and I were practically joined at the hip, but that's all changed now. Oh, he's always been something of a rascal, calling his petty hooliganism adventuring and endlessly worrying my poor mind. Oh, but of course, I've always loved that scamp to bits. For my part, I encouraged him to join the Legion. Even got him sparring with Captain Aureus now and then. But then those blasted Fabulous Five came into town. That band of... I don't even know what to call them. Well, they're his heroes, and I simply couldn't prevent him from going to see them. That one meeting was all it took for Tom to run off with them on some mission to God knows where.
What? Oh, it's you. Come closer then. Closer, huh? My ears aren't what they used to be. Nor my eyes, for that matter. Yes, hello, Source Hunter. Our city welcomes you. That depends. What kind of berries are you interested in, exactly?
Berries?
Ah, the library. Yes, yes, you must have a visit. It's the gem of Sicile. Would you like to have a look? I'll escort you upstairs myself. Marvelous. Follow me, then.
Yes. Got perks.
What? Oh, yes. This library is the jewel in Sicile's crown, the beacon of culture and learning in our fair city. My Victoria has every volume you could possibly imagine, and she's got every speck of information about this place packed into her brilliant brain. Yes, Victoria's come a long way from that little bundle of claws and teeth I adopted so long ago. Ah, it brings a tear to my eye just seeing her here among her beloved books. What? Oh, yes, yes. I'll be on my way back downstairs now. Please introduce yourself. I know Victoria will be happy to make your acquaintance.
The lesser key of Sadakandras. Ugh, what nonsense. The Pseudomonarchia Daemonum. Omnes autem mali daemonis quam. What? What is this? Who are you to interrupt my musings? By Naga the Protector, they have the manners of boors, these boatmen of Sicil. Oh, but perhaps I spoke too soon. Perhaps I was mistaken. For you hardly resemble the local fisherfolk, which, incidentally, is a compliment of copious dimensions indeed. No. A source hunter. That is what you are. Yes, a stalker of sorcery. A chaser of charms pernicious. In truth, I cannot go so far as to say it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, for I take no pleasure in the company of man. But it may just be to our mutual advantage to join forces nonetheless. Why, simply because you hunt source, and I, Jehan, hunt demons. You are aware, of course, that quite often both of these pests frequent the same shadowy pools of infamy.
A volume of poetry among novels? Urak! What mayhem!
Now, I hate what I hunt, but I respect its cunning. Should I not, I'd have been decimated, body and soul, long since. This is a sentiment I'm quite certain you must recognize. Let there be strength in cunning, yes, but also in numbers. The calculus of wizardry I offer you. The might of the magician's mastermind. On one condition. That on our joint travels we will never deal with demonic entities, no matter how tempting their propositions. Give me your word on this, and I'll weave you spells.
Very well. There will be no deals with demons.
The blushing bottom?
Agreed. Nothing good ever came from bargaining with those devils anyway.
Most gratifying.
Okay.
I see you are firm of purpose, and thereby ready to descend. Descend into the madness that is sorcery. Into the depths where demons dance. Gladly shall I follow you into the abyss. Onward, blood and triumph await.
There's the third one gone. Shatsu. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night.
Damn it, what is this?
Kajdanor. Brief history in the name of Amon-Hor. I bid thee Tujda Geta Hal. Be welcome, human. My library is yours, as I hope your friendship is mine. Indeed you may. The wisdom I here hold is yours to peruse and even take with you. All I can ask is that you return the books you borrow, so that others may enjoy them too. I am Victoria, daughter of Mayor Cecil. Oh, I know what you're thinking. The likeness isn't exactly striking, is it? When I was very young, you see, I must have been cast out by my tribe, for I was found in a wicker basket floating past Sicil toward the sea. The fisherman who found me would have drowned me on the spot, for I am an orc after all. But praise be Amon-Hor, dear Cecil was among the gathered crowd, and he took pity on the exiled infant that chance had put in his way. He raised me like I was his own, this kindest of souls, taught me the language of men, their customs and their letters. Thus, I became the city's librarian, a position I uphold with no small diligence and pride.
Lucky find!
Volume 1, Volume 2. But where's the third one gone? Shatsu. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night. Volume 1, Volume 2. But where has the third one gone? Shatsu. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night. Volume 1, Volume 2. But where has the third one gone? Shatsu. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night. Who placed this book here? A volume of poetry among novels? Urak! What mayhem!
The seven grant abundance!
The knight in see-through armor? Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom? Stetteken! Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she?
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies Sizefield's ever seen.
Potions to bemuscle you, scrolls to entussle you.
Greetings, these stalls are...
Don't let that rooster escape! He's already on the menu for tonight! Isn't it a...
True story indeed. Perhaps we too can have a bite later.
Heartless. Heartless.
You don't think it's infected, do you? These stalls are for our legion troops.
Now, I'd hold her off you before she could do any real damage.
You joking? I've been mauled. I'll be disfigured for life.
Ah, come on with the dramatics. It's not as bad as all that.
Hey, who's that then? Come on.
Each
We got report. I tapped her on.
bit tully.
Enjoy it while you can, Ver.
Well, that... Perhaps it'd be...
After all.
Well, that's a relief, ain't it?
Heed me.
You say you will take me under your wing. But in truth, and your city here, Jar, a beast. I have learned the remembering we do not. It is. He came to me when he called. Jarrett visited. Jarrett is my master. But I have that mystery. I watched the next morning. He was killed. I do not know the one called Attenbera.
You think that's
Source Hunter. I have heard tales both in Home Forest. Every creature acts according to the nature of its kind. Birds frighten easily. Badgers fear little. But amongst men, there are no guarantees.
nuts! Recruits, that was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again!
It is strange to stand with one foot in the forest. Perhaps in time I will come.
Attention! About this! Carrots, nuts! Recruits, that was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again!
Sir, no, sir.
Attention! About face! Do the barracks! Notch! Recruits! That was sloppier than Sicilian stew! Again! Those books will embarrass a bridge drop! Get the shiny recruits!
Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir.
Those books will embarrass a bridge drop. Get to shining recruits.
Sorry, sir.
You think that's funny, Private?
Sir, no, sir.
What have we here, then? A so-called time Captain Aureus, if God's up. Nevertheless, the scene of the crime is over at the King Crab Inn. I see. Well, don't just stand there gawking like guppies. Hire yourself to...
So, what's the bad news? More orcs rampaging through the docks? Or have those infernal statues sent another soul flying to his death? Sad story, that. Though if I'm speaking plainly, the sentimental aspect of it all doesn't make much of an impression on an undertaker. Especially not these days. with so many laid low by the orcs and such like. I just concern myself with giving the remains a respectable exit from life. We set him to rest in the northern graveyard. Perhaps he can finally get a little peace. A sheep? That's a whole heap of nonsense. Don't bother me with such wild tales.
Shit.
I suppose you're right. At least if I tell you myself, you'll hear the proper account of things. I buried that blasted sheep, but I swear on my lucky left foot I had nothing to do with that body disappearing. 1 minute it was on my slab, you see. I left the room for just a moment to answer the bell in the front parlour, and when I returned, the body was simply gone. In its place was a sack containing more gold coins than I could even count. The message was clear. Silence is golden.
This man's gonna die.
My business has been declining right alongside the rest of our blighted city. And that sack of gold was worth more than I made during one of the good years. I needed cash, and someone needed my silence. I knew I had to bury something or risk being found out. So that night, I stole into the market and made off with Bertia's fattest sheep. It was a bloody waste to stick so much fine meat into the ground to rot, but it had to be done. The next day, the pallbearers retrieved Jake's coffin, sealed to hide the body's terrible wounds, none the wiser that within the casket lay nothing more venerable than a slaughtered beast. Now, you can imagine I've spent more than my share of restless nights wondering who could have wanted that cadaver and for what purpose. I'm not an inch closer to imagining the why, but I've got a few inklings as to the who. Near as I can reckon, there are only 4 people who could have been involved. Mayor Cecil, Captain Aureus, Theleron's apprentice Evelyn, and Esmeralda. Plenty of us shopkeepers entrust the mayor with the spare keys to our businesses, you know. And he's the only person in town with a second copy of the key to the mortuary. He could have used it to sidle in without a peep, if he were so inclined. Aureus himself paid me a visit the night the body was delivered. Came rapping at my door in the frosty morning before the sun had even started peeping, and told me to tell him, and only him, if I noticed anything strange or suspicious about the remains. Can't see why he'd bothered to go through all that trouble, unless he knew something the rest of us don't. I know it sounds strange suspecting the doctor's apprentice of something so ghoulish as this, but there's few in this city could manage to transport a corpse without raising eyebrows. It was she who delivered Jake's body from the inn to the mortuary. And there was something about her that night. Some kind of excitement. It seemed she could barely contain her thoughts. That there was something thrilling about to happen. I can't quite settle it in my mind how a young medical professional would have such a strange reaction to an occasion such as that. And this may or may not have anything to do with the whole rigmarole. But her master, Dr. Theleron, bought an old shack of mine, one overtaken by undead, for an exorbitant price considering what he was getting. I never did figure what he wanted it for, but he sure seemed eager. I never saw a widow less distraught at the death of her husband, and I've seen hundreds pass through my parlor. It was she who rang my bell just before the body was snatched, lured me outside claiming she needed air, before discussing the funeral arrangements. Some accomplice could have sneaked in and grabbed the remains while I was comforting the oh-so-overcome Esmeralda. That gold's the only good thing to come out of this blasted affair. And I certainly plan on making some use of it.
I want it, Roberts. I want the gold. God. Shit. Are you serious?
Killer of the community? Ha! Half this city doesn't know my name, and the other half regards me as the spirit of death itself. I'll keep my reward, thanks, and the community can think whatever it wants.
The dead man is nervous as a squirrel. I'm certain he's hiding something.
You may be right. I suspect he has much more than
What
mere...
do you think you're doing? That's enough of that now!
Oh, come on, Roberts.
Greetings. Any real damage? You're joking. I've been mauled. I'll be
Hey,
sorry soon.
who's that then? She make we got enjoy.
Well, perhaps it'd be...
After all.
Well, that's a...
Heed me, source hunter.
Source Hunter. In Home Forest, every creature acts according to the nature of its kind. Birds frighten easily, badgers fear little. But amongst men, there are no guarantees. It is difficult for me to claim. It is strange.
What have we here? I'm Captain Aureus, if you must know. Gods above! Nevertheless, the scene of the crime is Esmeralda is Jake's... What? You're going to stand there and claim with a straight face your order never wrongly tortured and executed anyone? Hardly. But I won't...
Shut up. It's, what?
So, what's the bad news? Sad story, that. I just a sheep? Why should I help those louts? Most of them. Enough of that bloody business. If you're just going to... So, what's the bad and sad? I just concern my... I suppose you're right. I buried that blood. In its place was a sack I knew now. You can imagine I've plenty of it. He could have... Aureus himself. Can't see why. I know it was she. It seemed she could... And this may... I never... It was she who rang my bell.
That gold, baby.
So, what's the bad news? That gold's the only good thing to come out of this blasted affair. And I certainly plan on making some use. Pillar of the community?
Shut up.
Buttons, hide it.
So, what's the... That gold's the only good thing to come out of this blasted affair. And I certainly plan... Pillar of the community?
God damn it.
Yes.
Give it to me, Roberts.
So, what's the bad news? That gold's the only good thing to come out of this blasted affair.
Yes.
And well, with all the troubles plaguing Sicil, I suppose us natives ought to put our finest feet forward. Here, take the gold. And give it to someone who actually deserves it.
I deserve it, fucker.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
You there! No, men. Oh.
Of course I do.
Quite right.
See here.
Well,
Yes.
Indeed, even so.
it's better...
Better to be...
Well, and that is exactly why I... Who? Tom? Doesn't ring a bell. Oh, hold on. Yes, of course, Tom. One of our most recent additions to the Fellowship. Brave kid. Smart as a tack. He'll prove to be a wonderful addition to the family yet. Ah, the fact you like nothing more than... What a gem. Now then, of course, by now, work hard. Fulfill... Of course, of course.
Oh, shit.
As it seems.
Join a guild, better the world, earn a lot of gold. Yes, count me in.
And me. May all the riches in the world be ours.
Marvelous. Magnificent. Oh, but what am I saying? Fabulous is the word. You may not realize it yet, but your fortunes, your very life is about to change for the better. So let us not dilly-dally. To business. Your first assignment is ready and waiting if you're ready and willing. Oh, it's a pretty straightforward task, this one. Now, in this town dwells a wizard. Ahu is his name, and he's a frightful eccentric. Scientific type, you know the kind. Favors reason over faith and all that. Not Fabulous Five material, him. His experimental weapons may keep a couple of skeletons away from the city, but many of his other researches failed. Malfunctioned with tragic consequences. One of them was a big lumbering apparatus. A frightful automaton shaped like a giant made of steel. It was supposed to crush the undead by the dozens, piloted as it was by a trained legionnaire. But you can guess what happened. Did it become sentient? Was it cursed? Whatever the cause, the thing relieved itself of its pilot and headed north towards a network of caves. Now ask yourself, what if it comes back? It could smash the city walls and claim 100 lives before being subdued. Luckily, there are those in this world who belong to the Fabulous Five. The braves who eat such monstrosities for breakfast. Go, my friend. Find this wizard's abomination and claim your just reward from Mayor Cecil in the name of our hallowed guild. Easy money.
Tell me, Alistair, have you ever had the fortune of challenging the fabled wizard of Hunter's Edge?
Greetings, Source Hunter. Not exactly the...
What happened?
I guess someone else got here first. Nothing for it but to keep looking for more clues.
The hunters go stalking in the night. By the needles of the million bleeder, they'll end it all! End it all in blood! Ah, you have come, yes. That is most satisfactory. Begone, brittle mask of age. Hear me now repeat the words of Brittletooth, the child snatcher of Carador. Come, play with me, for I'm hungry. Come, play, play, play!
The fuck? Sounds like a...
Here I wait for thee in the dark. But the stab, the game, yes! A game of blood and brutality, of death and dexterity. Fun as herring the horror harlequin. But, like the serpentine stalker hisses before the stab, hush now. Darkness, darling. Hush, hush, and listen to my tale. The elves of Gandavon, they lived in peace. Oh, yes. But one night, when the moon had hid her face, the orcs of the tribe of Kazuldagar beset our city. They cooked and ate and burned every last one of us. The light of dawn never saw an elf of Gandavum no more. All undone, every last one of us. Except for me, the midnight rambler, away from the city. I was very old back then already, though indeed I whisper of many years hence. But death shall not find me, Oh no, not until every beast of Kazaldagard has been bled. I may be frail, a withered grey, but the wealth of kings is mine. Countless assassins have ministered to the vengeance that is my want, and now is almost over. By Kala, Lady of the Last Gaze, I swear it is almost done. Only the very last one of the Kazaldagard still eludes me. The crowning kill that would seal its fate and mine alike. I have tracked her down by the curse of the spine spear I have. She does not know her ill-shapen sun is setting fast. Color the dusk red, O sword of youth. Bloody the day with the bramble sap that runs through the veins of Victoria. Bring me the amulet that clings to her flesh, soon to fade. And yours shall be the bounty of vindication. Mine shall be its sanguine satisfaction after long, long last. Yes, Victoria. She is the one whose heart must be held in hand. The heart around which the fingers of that hand must clench and tighten until its choking flesh bulges with blood and its beat slowly breaks. The orcs of Kazaldagard, they knew my name. Oh yes. By the bite of the roving rattler, they knew my design. And so they sought to save their last, an infant, she who was to be queen. To no avail, oh no. Years, how many I know not. Years I searched, and now she has been found. Her name is that of a woman, her employment that of a civilized being. But by the fork of Barbara Man-Eater, she is nothing but an orc. A cest of nature, one of a misbegotten litter dragged into life from the tumoured womb of a filthy, coarse-haired beast that was humped like a dog in the darkness of a stinking hollow. Victoria, librarian, daughter, adopted child of Cecil, Mayor of Sicile. There is bloodlust in you. I can feel it. Let it out. Set it free. Undo the last of the Kazaldagard. By the breasts of Sishara Goatsucker, give me my revenge!
That was quite the radical change we witnessed. I never would have thought that the benign old man we met outside would turn out to be a vengeance-driven aficionado of assassins.
He is as much a savage as those orcs. And how is Victoria guilty of her tribe's crime if she was but a babe at the time?
Indeed. Victoria probably doesn't even know about her past. And yet, she's on a... let's call him eccentric's hit list.
Fresh haddock! Perfect for fire!
This is Brother's house. Only one gets in.
Assure me, dear Septimus, that you haven't been fighting those awful orcs. I can't bear to imagine something would happen to you.
Oh, but don't you worry, lady. We Legionnaires are highly trained soldiers who fear neither orc nor demon.
Oh, but what if you were to be ambushed, caught unawares? Oh, catch me, for I might faint.
Sigurd's beard! What a find!
Polite, handsome, and single. Don't go anywhere tonight, Legionnaire. I'd be afraid alone in the dark.
About setting up the perfect crime.
My, what a strong and handsome officer you are, kind Septimus. You must have fought many a battle, am I right? In fact, I bet you're a real war hero.
Oh, I'm no hero. I'm just doing my duty. For the Legion.
Well, you certainly are my hero. The rock upon which I can rest my weary soul in these trying and troubled times.
Never fear, my lady. As long as I'm around, no care on your neighbor's bench.
So that's what that did. Bloody dagger. Could this have been involved in the crime?
Sicils we sent to the Northern Cave.
Don't be concerned enough when you realize that
Oh, my good man. Drink, you please.
Please do keep shouting about my name.
Pay the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
What are ye staring at? Captain Jack's the name, though the title may be a little generous at the moment. My crew ran off, and I can't find enough hearty souls to help me reload the ship and sail off. Those scallywags heard there be silver in the Lacula mines, and they abandoned ship like the lily-livered turkeys they are. Haven't seen them since the day we docked.
Ain't true. Harry's by the
Ah, hello, proportionate one. Oh, I can see from the symmetry in your face that you are a great fan of the fine arts, no? I'm a painter by trade, as you can see, but a cartographer at heart. You might think there isn't enough work for one of my talents in a downtrodden city like Sicil, and you'd be quite right. I travel around Andervale, mastering my craft and finding new subjects to add to my litany of lovely portraits and complex maps, like this rooster I'm working on now, and the landscape that surrounds him.
Coco Leash. Fuck you.
Welcome back, source hunters. I've been eagerly expecting you. You found another starstone, haven't you? Go on, go on. Ask me how I know. Aha! Mere child's play when you know what to look for. And luckily, I do. Do you remember when you first arrived on this plane? When the dormant portal that led us to this hall sprang to life? It's happened again, my friend. Another portal has reignited. The end of time is growing by the stone. It's all connected somehow. You, this place, the void, the stones. Soon we'll have unraveled the whole truth. Oh, how I do love a good mystery. You don't imagine that I'd presume to explore it before you? No, that would be most unmannerly. And not to mention, well, No, I'm sure it's nothing. It's just that beyond the portal, I sense a presence that I can't quite account for. It is at once powerful and faint. Perhaps only a shadow, perhaps more. But this is only speculation, of course. Come, let me show you the way. Once you're through, you'll be able to report exactly what we're dealing with.
What an impressive room.
So it is. A hall fit for kings.
Leos ral edu, Hrahime.
Wouldn't you look fine with a strapping warrior at your side? Or is it mages you prefer? An eagle-eyed ranger? A stealthy pickpocket? Take your pick of my swords for hire. Of course, Chief. But maybe you ought to get rid of some of your...
You. It cannot be you. But it can only be you. The Guardians. Those I deceived. Those that deserted me. But oh, how weak you have become. As weak as you used to be strong. Look about you. You used to lead, and now you follow. Ignorant of your faults, and ignorant of your fate. That it has come to this. Woe to the world that it has come to this. He won't believe me, the fiend. But they have come, as I prayed they would.
Who do you think the creature in there was?
I haven't the foggiest. But the eerie bit is that she seemed to know us.
No more about the void. What it is, what lies.
How welcome you are upon this realm, our most honored guest. I hope you begin to find this place more familiar than it may yet seem. Threads I weave and tales I see. All will I tell. She is one whose history is shrouded in darkness. She is more than a woman, though less than a goddess. She knows you. You have wronged her. She is part of the end, though she longs to be part of endlessness. The threads tell me that once, oh, how many eons lie hidden in so small a word. Once, you strode across that hall in shining armor, a sovereign to all who beheld your might. I can clearly read that armies you have led, demons and dragons you have conquered, that you have ascended. But how can this be now that you stand before me a human, a mortal? How far has your soul fled from the being it used to be? New threads, more threads we need.
love, grant me patience. You're a source hunter, aren't you? Here because you think, like I told you. So what happened? Perhaps it is you who should explain. What'll you think of next? Accusing me of bashing? Oh, that horrid tome of ill repute. It is. Oh, don't put stock in the hastily scribbled words of a lovelorn fool. But all of it is circumstantial. I've a perfectly. Over the last few months, it all began the day he met. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if she belongs to that sect. You know, to the. I never liked her from the. She hails from Silverglen, a village. If anyone killed my Jake, it must be her. She had her claws in him for many long months and.
Ah, how intolerable it is to think that all the knowledge of the world is being gathered by an imp. A creature that is no more than the result of a demon's bowel movement imbued with the breath of life. And yet I am a tad jealous of that jabbering little jester. To know all. It is a consummation devoutly to be wished.
For the Legion.
Well, you certainly are my hero. The rock upon which I may rest my weary soul in these trying and troubled times.
Never fear, my lady. As long as
Life
I'm
without mystery. Life without wonder. What is this pseudo-philosophical flower-child claptrap? The greater one's knowledge, the vaster its extent, the more monumental the questions become that loom on the ever-retreating horizon. Let us learn, Hunter, whether you like it or not, and through wisdom grow ever more mighty.
Shut up. He called me claptrap.
Toe of snake, wing of worm, brew and spice 'em, stir and churn.
A tone soothing a corpse's troubled mind. To what do I owe the repeated pleasure, Source Hunter? Far be it from her to tell her master what in the seven's name she's up to. The girl flew from here like she just heard the location of the Philosopher's Stone. She even left her pouch unattended in the next room. Most unlike her, to be sure. She usually keeps it within sight at all times. Very strange she'd leave it behind. It's in the next room if you'd like to take a look. I'd try her house, for starters. It's not far from here. I'll mark the location on your map.
Thanks, mate.
Oh, I know it's here somewhere. I wouldn't want to ruin this particular batch of party elixir with too much warm water.
Tomatoes.
blacksmithing and one in crafting. What the fuck do I
What? Oh, hello again. Please tell me how I can help you during your investigations. I know your plate is full enough to fill you for days. Jake? Murdered, you say? Oh, yes. Yes, of course. Now I remember. Well, I'm sure the facts will prove me innocent. Keep investigating. You'll see for yourselves in time. Oh, yes. The Fabulous Five. Aren't they simply fantastic? I'm sure they'll get the job done in no time, especially with your expert hand lent to their cause. That machine Ahu built is an abomination. It must be stopped at all costs. I bet the wizard himself could provide some advice regarding how to destroy it. He's the mad scientist who crafted it after all. Someone wants to see Victoria dead? That cherub of the book? That seraph of the library? Outrageous! Hear you me. You must stop that dog by any means necessary. As mayor of Sicil, you have my permission to take drastic measures if need be.
Place this book here. A volume of poetry among novels. Urak. Tojageta, friend. Kiralizor. Oh, do pardon my language, my friend. But that is quite the startling revelation. So much sadness, so much anguish. Eglandir's tale is heartrending, though it seems that in the pursuit of retribution, he has himself become as great a ghoul as those that wronged him. Does he not see that I am now the one who is to be wronged? Why, oh why must he make me, of all gentle-minded and life-loving creatures, why must he make me the target of his imperishable hate? Whom have I ever harmed? I live for books, not brutality. So, let us approach the situation with reason and ask ourselves, where do we go from here? Though, first let me say this. Ashizam bil kushum zunum. From my heart, I thank you for warning me. I thank you and I trust you. So pray, let me pose the question. What do you advise we should do? My amulet? But it is Haxmagi, a sacred token that houses the presence of my ancestors. No, I cannot part with my talisman, the keepsake of my soul.
Escape.
When you put it like that, I guess I cannot say that it is. I do this very reluctantly, but fine. Have my talisman. May it fool the elf that would see me dead. The knight in see-through armor. Princess Buttercup with the blushing Tojageta friend.
Get it while it's fresh. These batches only out.
Here I wait for thee in the dark. Yes? Yes? Have you...
Yes. So it is. So it is. By Angus, the Impaler's favourite steak, you've done well by me.
Oh, Ravager of Gazaldagar, the last of their line is dead. The House of Gandavon has been avenged. Sweet flowing blood. The quest of decay is at an end. My wealth is yours. My life is death's. By the hollow sockets of the Voidwood Eye Gouger, I bid thee thanks and fond farewell.
You, again. Do feel free to depart from Sicil. Oh, still not finished with that sorry matter? It was stolen? Gods, what a fool that Roberts is! Taking a bribe in beleaguered old Sicil. Ah, what was he going to do with that gold? Buy the largest kipper in the land? He has a lot to answer for, but not as much as the one that did the bribing in the first place. Guess your mission is pretty clear, isn't it? Off you go to find this munificent body snatcher. What is in her diary certainly seems to implicate she dabbles in sorcery. Well, you're supposed to be the source hunter, aren't you? Go hunt some source! Well, have you found any incriminating evidence against her? If so, let's have it! So, you found a blooded knife in Esmeralda's cellar. Guess you can scratch the top candidate off your list of cliched clues, then. Not exactly enough to arrest her. How to plan the perfect murder. Really? Really? She might as well wear a dress with the words "I killed Jake and I liked it" embroidered on it. But that alone wouldn't suffice to convince me. So convince me, Hunter, and keep looking. The knife, the book, the letter. They seem harmless enough by themselves, but in conjunction they do paint a pretty grim picture. Fine then. If you're certain she did it, then I shall have Esmeralda arrested. Your responsibility, Source Hunter. Whom would you have the Legion arrest?
Again.
Oh yeah. Whew.
How can I help you, my friend? What? I'd never. If you must know, I was merely checking up on Maxine, the mayor's cat. What a delight she is. The temperament of a tiger, the grace of a leopard, and the manners of a lady all rolled into one. By all means. Of course. I hope your investigation fares well. His body is gone, replaced with that of a sheep. This is all very disconcerting, to say the least. Grave robbery reeks of necromancy. Could Jake have been involved with those that raise the dead? It seems too improbable to be true, but nevertheless. You're onto something, Hunter. Do follow the scent and see where it leads you. I can't say much more, but that they're madmen. All the more dangerous to us because of their alliance with what should be a natural enemy. You won't see me teaming up with a terrier in a hurry. But certainly. What would you like to know? What? And what might those be? One of them failed? Who is the mongrel that dares to question my engineering expertise? I take it the mutt in question was referring to the Sparkmaster 5000. It isn't failing, it just became... well, it became self-aware. Frightfully annoying when that happens. You know what? Here's the remote access device with which I used to control it. There's a manual for that somewhere around here, too. Yours, if you can find it. I really should invite Victoria one of these days, so she can help me organize my mess of a library.
Now this is valuable. Now, there's my pepper. Did it sprout legs and run away? Ah, yeah. Now, there's my pepper. Did it sprout legs and run away? Ah, yeah. Now, there's my pepper. Did it sprout legs and run away? Ah, yeah. Now, there's my pepper. Did it sprout legs and run away? Ah, Now, there's my pepper. Did it sprout legs and run away? Ah, yeah. Now, there's my pepper. Did it sprout legs and run away? Ah, yeah. Now, there's my pepper. Did it sprout legs and run away? Ah, yeah. Now, there's my pepper. Did it sprout legs and run away? Ah, yeah. Now, there's my pepper. Did it sprout legs and run away? Ah, yeah. Now, there's my pepper. Did it sprout legs and run away? Ah, yeah. Now, there's my pepper. Did it sprout legs and run away? Ah, yeah. Now, there's my pepper. Did it sprout legs and run away? Ah, yeah. Now, there's my pepper. Did it sprout legs and run away?
Let's go, bitch. Oh no. Kailangan ko lang repair. Stupid shops. The shops.
Ah, gracious patron, I see your tired eyes looking a bit teary. I've just the potion for that. Or would you prefer a toasty fire spell to dry those vapors?
Livestock's got twice the sense and thrice the soul of the average human, I say.
Be the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Tomatoes.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots. Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse slice of this fine Gorman there.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Any takers? Come on, you chickens!
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for barn potatoes.
Itu.
I should have done this from the very start.
Oh! These gates are to remain closed at all times. Captain's orders. Wait a second. Well, I'll be a little red imp's uncle. You don't look like you're quite ready to head out into the wilds to me. I certainly hope you know what you're...
From the very start.
The Sicilians retreated from this battle. But what about the orcs?
Either they've taken to the sea or set up an encampment in yonder caves. Keep your weapon at the ready.
This?
Oh, hello! What have we here? An adventurer, I judge, by the world-weary look of your weapon, and a noble by the wonderfully deep pockets clipped to your belt. What luck! What luck! Charla is my name, good friend. I came to this second life some time ago. Some years? Years, it must be. Or perhaps not. In any case, it has been time well spent hunting out magnificent goods and selling them to interested parties. So many wonderful artifacts I've found, so many precious relics I'd be so happy to rehome to a trusted buyer. Have a look by all means. You'll find every make and kind of impressive accessories, but you'll also find certain very rare relics too. You look like just the sort of self-starter to appreciate what I mean. Weapons, 4 of them, that the intrepid adventurer can improve and upgrade as he travels if he finds the right pieces. See them? See them? Judge for yourself. Goodbye then, good friend. Goodbye. That is, unless you fancy a glance at some of my wonderful goods.
Away with your weapons! Away! Leave humble Orc to mourn in peace. I don't want to fight. I ain't after no fancy stone. I just want to bury these bodies the traditional way. It's the least I could do for my dear brother Oggy. Such a dear lad he was. We wanted to see the world, but we saw next to nothing before he was called to serve the old mother in the afterlife. In our village, oh, poor Oggy will never see it again. Tradition goes that a warrior should be buried with his best armor so he can defend himself in the afterlife. So many spoils after the battle, but I managed to give old Oggy the best set. A proud send-off for a proud soldier.
A grave with a full set of hand-picked armor, eh? We've got to know its location.
I second that. His brother won't be using that armor now that he's gone to the great orc sty in the sky.
You want the location of Oggy's grave? Now what use could you have for that, small bones? Keep bothering about it, and I may have to call over my friends from up the beach to deal with you.
Hand me my shovel.
First one to strike gold buys dinner.
Away with your weapons! Away! And why'd you be needing that information, small bones? That's right. He was a great soldier, he was. What a kind request.
What's this I've spotted?
This place hasn't been secured.
Yes, it's treasure. Just. Away with your weapons! I'd pour out the whole pipe for you if I could, brother.
Please assist me!
Pour out the whole pipe for you if I could, brother.
A little help here!
Yes, it's treasure. Just.
The Sicilians retreated from this battle. But what about the orcs?
Either they've taken to the sea or set up an encampment in yonder caves.
Away with... I don't want... Oh, it was in our own town. I used to dead, but don't play down with me, small bones. You know as well as I that your little city here won't be rid of us orcs till my kind gets that fancy bloodstone you got in yonder cove. In our village, oh, but there weren't so...
A grave with a foot.
I second that.
You want the location?
Hand me my shovel.
First one to strike gold.
Away with your... And why'd you be needing that information? What? You think I was born yesterday? Your kind never honoured it.
Man, give it to me.
First one to strike gold buys dinner.
Away with... And why'd you be needing that information? That's right. Gravesite.
I've spotted something.
Here at my feet. Would you step?
I don't like this place. Something isn't right here. Let's watch our steps.
I can see the white light.
Away with your weapons! Oh, it's here, just in front of our noses. Oh, dear old Oggy Woggy. Big brother will warn you forever.
It's here, just in front of our noses. Oh. Precious treasure, just lost.
Fast.
Understand it.
Precious treasure, just lost.
Oh!
Away with all. It's here, just in front of our noses. Oh, dear old Oggy Woggy. Big Brother will warn you forever. Precious treasure, just lost. Away with your weapons! Away! Leave humble orc to... It's here, just in front of us. Hypocrites, liars, fiends!
Oh my god.
I'm dying.
Oh, hello! What have we here? An adventurer, I judge, by the world-weary look of your weapon, and a noble by the wonderfully deep pockets clipped to your belt. What luck! What luck! Goodbye there, good friends!
Rest in peace.
Beyond these walls, the dead roam free, Hunter. Be vigilant.
I need to dry off.
I'm drenched.
One bolt is never enough.
Back on my feet. Stick to time, hey, my friends?
Surrender to my leeching embrace. Burning touch.
Your death is at hand!
An invigorating fight that was. And what a killing blow you delivered.
Cheers. Yes, I handled myself like the best of the best, even if I do say so myself.
No need for false modesty where none is needed. You're a born source hunter, and that's a fact.
Damn it.
Selenia seems to have sent out some troops to investigate the lighthouse.
Keep an eye out for any survivors.